Call the meeting to order at 5:33 PM. Can I get a roll call, please?
Nichols,
Here.
McConnell,
Here.
Mekis,
Yeah.
Seeberger, Townsend,
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Amanda, I do want to note, you all do have a new council liaison, which is Laura Burgess, where prior it was Janice Weiner.
Okay. Thank you. You too. Thank you. Can we consider a motion adopting the consent calendar as presented, please? Or I'll move to adopt the consent calendar as presented. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any board discussion regarding the consent calendar? Can I get a roll call, please, for a vote?
Do you want to make sure, Chief, is there anything about the general orders that you wanted to mention?
Yes. The general order for use of force, you're going to see it again next month as well. We just did another minor update. It's meant more verbiage and language, clarifying a few things, but you'll see that again next month. So if you
Okay.
wanna take a look, you can take a look at it then as well.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a roll call for a vote to adopt the consent calendar as presented, please?
Nichols,
Aye, yes.
McConnell,
Here.
Mekis, Seeberger, Townsend.
Yes.
Thank you. And Kelly, can you please share information on the community forum?
Yeah, so typically, at least once a year, you all hold a community forum. So kind of the first step is deciding the date and time and location, and then a possible forum topic. I know in the past, we've had it in April prior to, like, the students leaving or prior to their finals. But I mean, it can really be whenever works for everybody. And I think as far as options, you know, in the past, we've had it at the library. It's been a while since we've had it here at City Hall, but you could certainly do, I think virtual too would be acceptable.
My concern is, if we're going to have the forum with the status of the virus that we're fighting, and, it's definitely something not to deal with. I have concern when we get people together, it's like a spreader. So I guess I'm just saying, with our certain conditions, do we want to have an event where we bring a lot of people together?
I definitely think we could do it virtually. I feel like we did that last year.
Yeah, you did hold it virtually last year.
Went okay.
I would say if we did it that way, we would be showing concern and being responsible to the public and trying to continue to include them in what we do, but at the same time, making sure that we're doing it in a safe manner.
We did make a change so that it's now going to be 2 a year. That was one of the changes that was made with all of the recommendations and things. Do we need to plan the date for both of those now, or just the first one?
You could do just the first one, and if you think summer or fall, and then we can revisit.
Spring virtual sound good to everybody?
Sounds good to me.
But it's usually about April, so start there and then go about 6 months out and work from there. Do you think that should be a weekday or a weekend?
Typically, they've been a weekday, and like I said, it doesn't have to be what it's typically been, and it was generally at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. But, I mean, having it virtual, I think you're pretty wide open. It's not like you have to find meeting space, just what you would think would be convenient for the public.
Anybody wants to throw a suggested date out there? I'm looking, but go for it.
Is there a specific day of the week that we have that on?
I think you've stuck to Tuesdays, but again, I don't think that makes a difference. It would be whatever works for everybody's calendar.
Would April 19th work?
That would work for me.
Okay.
Now, that is probably going to be the same night as a council meeting.
That's, yeah, I would like to take that into consideration.
Okay, let's not compete.
If it's in April, I guess I'd prefer to be after tax day the 15th.
Then I would say probably not a Tuesday because the 26th does not work for me. But both the 20th and the 27th would work for me if we wanted to look at a Wednesday. How does that look for other people?
I would say either have it on a Monday or a Wednesday. You know, those would be the days I feel comfortable with. What date was that you said? I
The
mean,
20th or the 27th? They're both Wednesdays.
either one of those work for me.
Do you know if those would work for you, Saul?
20th or the 27th.
That's,
Would the 20th or the 27th work for you for the community forum,
that's fine, yeah, 27.
Jerry?
Which month?
Wednesday, April 20th or 27th, either one of those?
Yeah, that would be okay with me.
Fine with me.
You want a little more time out of tax season?
No, that's
Or-
totally fine.
So either one,
Well,
plan
do
it for
we-
the 20th with a backup?
Of the 27th, and we
Seven?
can check with Teresa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Right, and then usually you also try to figure out a topic that you'd want to discuss at the forum. I think it was Meet the Chief last year. And it could certainly be anything.
Does anybody have suggestions, or do we want to brainstorm on that over the next month and come back to it?
Or you just need a topic?
Mm-hmm.
The one I would be thinking of would be communication. About how, what we are and how people communicate with us. Just throwing it out there.
And, I'd say, we're working to serve you.
Certainly come back to it next month. I think we probably need to have it nailed down by next month to be able to promote
Okay,
for April, but
okay.
if people want to think on it.
It's something that don't have to be in concrete. Why don't we try to come up with something so that we've got it off our plate, I'm concerned that we just keep hauling things on our plate, so I'd rather see getting them off.
Sure.
So let's see if we can iron this out tonight.
If we did communication, what kind of thoughts do you have, Jerry, as to how we would fill time in the forum with that?
Well, I think explaining what we do and how the process works if someone makes a complaint, and taking questions, that's a pretty big one. And we can have a secondary one, or that can be secondary.
So kind of just like a who we are.
And what we do.
your communication and partnership is, we're really working to make sure that our citizens are heard, that they get a fair shake, that they've got someone they can turn to, and that's why we're doing what we do. So, we definitely, communication.
Yeah, could the theme just be outreach? Extending outreach? Kind of wraps what we are and what we do in with the communication stuff.
Yeah, I think you and I can throw around some
Some
like shorter
words, but-
titles that'll fit on like the flyers that we put out, and
But that basic idea?
bring a draft back at the next meeting so that
Okay.
everybody can see it, if that works.
Okay.
Kelly, I don't think the ordinance actually requires you to have any sort of a topic to be discussed. I think the purpose of the forum really is to receive feedback from the community members.
No, I
But
think, yeah.
I
and
know that's
think-
what we've always done in the past, but
I think it gets the conversation going sometimes, not anything lengthy by any means, but I think it does kind of help prompt some conversation.
okay. I don't have anything against it. I just don't think it's required by the ordinance, so
Yeah, I think basically individuals that have filed complaints feel that they've been treated unfairly. And what we're doing is looking at both sides to make sure that citizens, our officers have a lot of power. And we're making sure that our citizens, there's a balance there that gives our citizens taking care of their rights. But at the same time, making sure that we make a decision that's not going to be unfair to our officers.
Do we do the public comment when there's a city council liaison and nobody else?
You sure can. She
When
might
did
want to
that
introduce
last time?
herself, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was never sure about that before. Is there any public comment for items not on the agenda?
Thank you so much. Sorry, give myself a little distance here. My name is Laura Burgess, and I'm a member of the Iowa City Council. I just started serving my 3rd year, so I am replacing Janice Weiner as the liaison to this board. And I just invite all of you, if you ever have any questions, concerns, thoughts, anything that could go to council, or if you want me to just serve as any kind of communication conduit, that is what I am here for. So, Kelly, I know at our last meeting, we did have that little ordinance amendment. Is that something we can update the board on, or?
Yeah, first reading, it was updated to have a 2-year, gosh, I don't have the wording right on me, for the police officer, 2-year span of when they actually worked for the department.
Break in service or
Yeah.
2-year break in service from the Iowa City Police Department specifically.
Before they could serve on the board. Whereas that had been removed for the ordinance that went in the packet.
I think the current ordinance has 5.
that's right, yes,
Right.
it does.
So I guess just reporting to you, for the first reading, the council kind of made an on-the-fly adjustment based on our discussion to make that a 2-year window in which a Iowa City officer would have to wait before they could serve on this board. But, okay, thank you all
Thank
for your
you.
service.
Up for second consideration next week.
Thank you, Laura. Is there any board information? New business that anyone wants added to the next meeting? Any staff information?
I do have the complaint form that we had talked about, making the adjustment on. It isn't live yet. This is kind of what we came up with, and I know that's horribly small to see. But the top is just the regular language that was at the top of the complaint form as far as having personal knowledge, and then being an adult, has to be an adult or a minor with an adult's assistance or a support person. But the question we added was, does the incident involve an City of Iowa City police officer? And if you do no, you get a message to contact the jurisdiction in which the officer involved is employed. And then I also added our phone number in case they have additional questions. And then if you do yes, it just goes into the complaint form.
Is there a directory that could be linked there as well, that is already in existence that that lists cities or counties and contact in the state of Iowa for those departments?
Like a link somewhere that would have all of them?
Yeah. Is there like a directory online that already exists somewhere?
Not that I know of, I'm sure it could be created. But not that I'm aware of. When I look up agencies, I just Google search the agency. But,
Okay.
But I'm sure that,
I mean, if they didn't know, I would hope that they would call the number then, and I
Yeah.
would do the
Yeah.
Google search and try to find what they needed. But
Okay.
hopefully, I mean, at least it might take away from some of the non-Iowa City complaints we've been getting,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you.
if that works for everybody.
Yeah, is that in bold print?
What's that?
Is that in bold print about if it doesn't involve an Iowa City police
Well, it
officer?
makes them answer a yes or no.
They can't move forward to the form if they answer no, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering, what if they don't know, you know?
Well, I would hope they would call. I mean, we're still probably going to get some regardless, but
Yeah, what I was thinking is that you could have a third option there that says, I don't know. And it would still bring up the same message then.
oh, for them,
Yeah,
will they add that? Unsure, not sure?
Right.
Something? I'm sure he can do that.
Yeah, I see there'd be situations when there would be a lot of confusion, you know, like when we have a situation like we had on, you know, with the Iowa City Police, there was so many cooperative efforts going on that it would be very difficult to distinguish specifically if the person were an Iowa City officer.
Yeah, and those we'll probably just have to handle like we've handled the rest of them.
I would suggest it'd be similar to the way we do when someone comes in and says, I got X officer did something, I'm not sure who he worked for. Well, we take the complaint and figure it out. So, yeah, I think that would be a good solution. But I would suggest that that if you don't know, it triggers something where they call you. Otherwise, I think we're going to be right back to the same place. If they go ahead and fill it out, if they can get to a live person, not associated with the police department, where you could
Right.
determine.
And you don't think the same message?
I think that same
Oh,
message would be
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure they can do that.
That's my, I mean, it's your guys, but that's just my 2 cents.
But yeah, hopefully they would call. Okay.
Thank you. Do the scheduled meetings still work for everybody for February, March, and April? It's Tuesday, February 8th, Tuesday, March 8th, and Tuesday, April 12th.
It's okay for me.
Thank you. To motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Adjourn open session at 5:52. In regular session? Okay, returning to regular session at 6:56. Can I motion to accept CPRB Report 2102 as amended and forward to City Council. I'll second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Nichols?
Aye.
McConnell?
Aye.
Mekis?
Aye.
Seeberger? Townsend?
Aye.
And I need a motion to set the level of review for 2107 at 887B1A. I'll move.
Second?
Is that Orville?
Yes.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Nichols?
Aye.
McConnell?
Aye.
Mekis?
Aye.
Seeberger? Townsend?
Aye.
Then I need a motion to summarily dismiss CPRB complaints 2108 and 2109, both based on City Code Section 883E, as neither complaint involves an Iowa City police officer.
So move.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Nichols?
Aye.
McConnell?
Aye.
Mekis?
Aye.
Seeberger? Townsend?
Aye.
Thank you, and I will motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.